Hello everyone, my name is Ian Balutis. I am a 21-year-old college student living with a spinal cord injury. I currently live in the Harrisonburg area and attend James Madison University. I'm sorry I can't be there with you all today, but by now school will have picked up and I will be too busy to attend. I am speaking to you now in this way because I thought it was important to share my story with you all. I think that the services Vail provides are valuable and worth advocating for. I hope my story can give you all a different perspective to view Vail, their services, and those they provide services for. I grew up in Arlington, Virginia, just outside DC. Sports were encouraged by my parents, and around 12 or 13, I had fallen in love with basketball. When I started playing, most of my peers were better than me and could shoot the ball as reliably as any 12 or 13-year-old can. That's to say that I mostly ran around and harassed my opponents on defense. I kept playing and getting better all through high school, and by the time I was 17, I had reached a height of 6'3", which helped a lot. I went to school on the first day of my senior year of high school, came home, and never went back. That night, I felt tingling in my feet, then my hips, and eventually my arms. My mother took me to the hospital, where I would eventually be placed into a medically induced coma so they could monitor all of my basic body functions before ascending paralysis threatened to keep me from breathing. I was transferred to Inova Fairfax and given a tracheostomy, which would allow a ventilator to breathe for me. I woke up about a month later to doctors with little idea of what happened to me. Some threw around the term Guillain-Barré syndrome, though some aspects of my case did not line up with that explanation. I spent the next year rehabilitating inpatient at a hospital in Norfolk, Virginia, called the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters. This being where I turned 18, ironically. I was given homework by my very accommodating professors and allowed to graduate with the rest of my class, though I only actually ever met my teachers once that year. I had been accepted to JMU, and my parents and I were frantically preparing both my body and my living situation to have a successful first year in college. My father had a friend whose mother had been taken care of by a group called Visiting Angels. He thought this would be helpful for me as I got adjusted to both life in college and life outside the hospital again. I remember meeting with one of their caretakers and her having some papers with her. A pamphlet with the letters VAIL on the letterhead. I mention this not because Vail had helped me find the Visiting Angels, but because they very easily could have. If I knew Vail had existed, many of my freshman year bumps and bruises could have been avoided. My living situation could have been addressed with speed and expertise. Moving around campus could have been easier. Even adjusting to the green pastures and farmland, completely unfamiliar to me, could have been eased by the friendly staff at the Vail offices. Instead, I didn't get to know about Vail until I reached out to the adaptive recreation coordinator, though I thought he was just a basketball player. I first attended wheelchair basketball practice with the Harrisonburg Cardinals in my junior year. It was then that I realized how crucial Vail was to the team. Vail enabled the team to play in tournaments in Richmond and near Baltimore. They even held their own Vail Invitational and work with Horizon's Edge to secure a reserved place to practice every week. I am in my senior year of school now, and I still have a lot to learn. But it's because of Vail that I'm able to engage with the sport that I love again. It takes me 11 minutes to drive to practice every Thursday. It starts at 6, but I make sure to get there extra early so I have more time to practice and see my teammates. It's because of Vail that I have a community of people in a similar situation to me, a group of people who I can relate to after pushing between classes full of people who will never get the hardest parts of my life. It's because of Vail I had a job this summer. I was lucky enough to take over for the man who introduced me to the team and become the part-time adaptive rec coordinator. Vail's grant that allowed them to keep a paid adaptive recreation coordinator expired, but I was still offered a paid position to give me both experience working and a way to give back to the team that I love. I wish I had been introduced to Vail or the Cardinals sooner, but the time I have had with them has been empowering and rewarding, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.